Hi everyone, welcome back to Gears and Glory. Recording from the car on the move, pretending to be a driver myself today. We've got the whole gang and we're ready to debrief the Abu Dhabi final race of the season for the 2024 season.
Finally. I'm not relieved that it's over, but I kind of am.
Yeah. It's a bit bittersweet.
Yeah, I feel like Rachel and Ross and friends. I'm like, we're on a break? We're on a break? What?
Yeah. And you know what? I feel like I always get so like sad and emotional and like want to cry every time the F1 season comes to an end. But honestly, this year I'm not even sad. I'm kind of like I need a break mentally. This is a lot.
I got really sad from all of the departures. So, okay, before we start the debrief of the race, who are we saying goodbye to? It's
Valtteri,
Joe, Kevin, Franco. Is that it? Oh gosh, if we forget somebody, that's going to be sad.
I think everyone else is just switching teams.
Yeah. Ocon's
Which
moving.
Will be, I mean, we all saw Carlos Sainz cry.
Hulk's moving. Sainz is moving. Don't talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to
Lewis
talk about
moving. I think that's it. I think it's 4.
And then we get some rookies, which is exciting. So, like, hi, Ollie Behrman. Hi, Kimmy, even though we've kind of already began the Kimmy slander. There's no reason for us to be slandering that poor child already.
I'm hopeful.
He did throw it in the wall immediately, but, like...
That was so funny, though.
It happens.
Honestly, that's kind of a funny thought. We don't really know whether we said goodbye to Liam Lawson or not.
Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, and then with... we're getting a little ahead, but, like, with the Pirelli driver tests, Yuki testing in the Red Bull... You know, maybe Christian finally beat Helmut Marko in arm wrestling or whatever they do to decide things. Like, I don't know.
We know how I feel about Helmut, but I feel like if he arm wrestled Horner, he would actually get snapped in half.
Yeah.
He's just like old.
He needs some milk.
He needs some milk.
He needs some milk.
Jesus Christ.
Honestly, like, give that man, like, a bath.
Okay, I need to make a blood pact, the three of us right now. If we ever, for whatever reason, meet Helmut Marko, we need to tell him that he looks like he needs milk.
Yeah, done deal. Okay. So into it.
Will we ever get invited to the Red Bull garage? Probably not.
Probably not. On this basis, they'll probably say no.
He's off this world.
I mean, like, honestly, maybe us asserting our dominance by telling him he looks like he needs milk will send him spiraling. He'll question his whole life and career, and then Christian will be like, "Yay, you defeated the beast. You know." Like, I don't know. It's like one of those, like, slay the dragon type of thing.
Yeah, the big bad guy, BBG, baby girl?
Baby G.
Oh my god.
It's like Shrek. Like, you saved the princess, and now she's your wife. You slay the Helmut Marko, and now Red Bull.
We get to marry Christian Horner.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Oh my god.
I'll marry Jerry, to be honest. I'll take his wife. Gorgeous. Yeah.
Okay.
With Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. Where do we start?
Let's start. I mean, lap 1 was already. Do we want to start before lap 1?
Oh my god. Hang on. Let's refer to our notes.
Oh god.
Actually, something did happen before lap 1. Charles's penalty.
Okay.
His grid penalty.
My god.
Okay,
classic.
Wait, hold on. Backtracking even further. Let's start.
Okay,
first.
wait. Yeah. FP1. Leck and Leck.
This weekend.
Leck.
Food poisoning.
Food poisoning.
Near death. Bro hardly got out in free practice 1 because of his bloody power unit.
Oh my god.
Which then caused him more death because he had to change it and got his bloody 10-place grid penalty. All while his little brother was just plodding along out on track.
Yeah, we did get a cute little interaction, and their mum was there.
Oh, cute.
So that's sweet. I don't know her name, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Pascale, I don't know.
Pedro himself. Sorry, no offense, Mrs. Leclerc. So we had a nice Leck and Leck FP1 appearance. Who else drove in FP1? Did Isaac Hatcher drive in FP1?
Was in Max's car.
And then we had one more.
Felipe was in one of the Astons, I'm pretty sure. And Rio, however we say his name, was in a McLaren.
Oh, there were so many switcheroos.
There was someone in a Williams as well, I think.
Yes, Luke Browning, who's also been promoted to F2 for next season.
Yes,
exciting. Wait, yeah. Sebastián Montoya, Juan Pablo Montoya's son, also got promoted to F2, which was so exciting. I cannot wait to see that kid in F1. I cannot wait.
Dino, hello, I'm having a stroke. Dino Begenovic, he's promoted to F2 as well. I think Christian Mansell's up into F2, so woo! Aussie in
Slay.
Exciting.
I think I might start watching F2 next year.
I think we have to. Is this a F1, F2 podcast now?
Yeah.
It's always been, let's be real. Thank you, Liv.
Yeah, Liv has made it that.
I have to watch the feeder series. Like, they're always on earlier, and they're way better than F1. I'll say that hand on heart. They are so much better than F1. Like, obviously, you got the sprint and the feature race every weekend, but it's not like F1, bless you, where the sprint is like shit and just shows you early who's going to win the next day. The top 10 are reversed, and it's never the same winner.
Yeah.
And it's chaos. These guys are like all competing for like an F2 or an F1 seat. Like, they just want to be freaking seen.
They just want to be there.
They go hard. They go crazy. There's never a race without like 4 incidents. Like, it's insane.
That's exciting.
Sorry to change topic.
Oh no.
I'm just looking at Sophia's notes.
No.
The first line in your notes says, "Let's Abu Dhabi do this."
Oh my God, no. One of the commentators said that. It was Martin Brundle or Crofty said that. Yes.
God, that's hilarious.
I just need it to be known. I watched the race at time, so it was like 6 a.m. for me. And I was just horizontal on my couch the entire time. So these notes
I love that.
Go hard, but I was not like making sense. I was like not fully awake. I immediately went back to sleep after the race. I was done.
Good. As you should.
Yeah.
While we're on the F2, I have to bring up the F2 championship, which was concluded.
Please do.
Derby. Going into the sprint race, there was like mathematically 3 people who could be winners. We spoke about Poirot.
Oh my God.
Episode where he mathematically still could have won the championship after leading it for half the season without a win.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's slay.
The season, awful car issues, so he dropped right back, and then he won the sprint race maybe in Abu Dhabi, or I don't know, I can't remember. No, the feature race in Qatar, I think. I don't know. And he was mathematically back in contention. There was literally like half a point between the top 2 in the championship going into Abu Dhabi.
Wow.
Then after the sprint race, going into the feature race, so Bortoleto and Hadjar were the top 2. And going into the feature race, there was, I think, 6.5 points between the 2. And there's a 7-point difference between first and second place. So like it was like meant to be a close championship. And I think Hadjar was starting from like P3 or P4, and Bortoleto was in like P2. So like it should have been a battle for P1, P2. Anyway, the commentators, sometimes you've just got to trust them until that timing tower comes up, because when that camera angle is really zoomed out, you cannot tell who's who. And when there's 7 Red Bull livery cars, which one is Isaac Hadjar? Do you know what I mean? So when you start and you see Bortoleto gun it, and a Red Bull livery car chasing him down, you go, oh my God, Isaac Hadjar is really going to test him for this championship. And when the saying, look at Isaac Hadjar go, he's right up there. And then the timing tower comes up and it says Pepe Marti is up there and not Isaac Hadjar. And you see a Red Bull being wheeled into pit lane, and it's Isaac Hadjar.
Oh.
Stalled on the grid.
He what? Stalled on the grid?
Championship. He stalled on the grid. These F2 cars are shocking.
Damn.
That's
Don't they have
insane.
anti-stall?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, didn't something similar happen actually to Yuki?
Yeah, probably. God knows.
Man, the Visa RB is pretty much an F2 car, so...
Yeah. I think it was Abu Dhabi where he had issues.
Yeah, I think so.
There were actually a lot of DNFs this race. Actually,
there were, a quarter of the grid DNF'd.
Yeah, I think there were 4. Let me... Well, we
Checo,
had Perez.
Valtteri. I was so devastated for Valtteri because his beginning message was like, let's just go out there and like have a good time. Let's see what we can do. Especially after Zhou got points in, where was it? 2, 3 races ago?
Yeah, I think it was Qatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Devastating.
Anyway, well, Brit fine. Girls definitely need to start watching F2 because honestly, some of the teams that even follow the drivers from F2 into F1.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever seen the people being like, "Oh, Oscar, did your DRS work this race?" Or like that. Like they're always like, "Oscar, did your DRS work? Did your DRS work?" Oscar and DRS were not friends in F2.
No.
I think maybe 2 races, his DRS worked in his last season on F2.
Oh my God.
They were
okay, so DNF were Perez, Franco, Bottas, Lawson. Was not Yuki. 'Twas Lawson.
You know what? He was the only Red Bull family that didn't have a shocking race because Max had that shocking spin on the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Checo was out by the middle of lap 1.
Yeah. Where did Yuki finish? Hang on.
He caught fire.
Oh yeah. I mean, Yuki finished 12th.
Oh.
But it says +1 lap, so I think he didn't finish.
He was a lap behind, yeah.
Yeah, he was a lap behind. So Albon, Yuki, Zhou, Stroll. Why did I say it like Zhou?
Zhou.
Oh. I can never pronounce it properly. Guan Yu, lap behind. Stroll, Doohan, and Magnussen all a lap behind.
Doohan's so funny. I don't know if I sent it to the group chat, but he ratted him and himself and Pierre out. He openly said to a journalist that
that's
Pierre
right.
after curfew on Friday.
Yeah.
Like, he's so funny. He was like, yeah, one thing I just really didn't expect from my first F1 race is that my thumbs were broken. Like, they just stopped working by the end of the race.
Oh, no.
I was like, what? What does that mean? Like, I get it's probably from,
Yeah.
But, hello? What do you mean your thumbs were broken?
That's insane.
Yeah.
What's happened, Jack? I'm so excited to have him on the grid next year.
Me too. And I really, as much as I love Franco, I hope they don't ditch Jack for Franco.
Yeah.
Because, you know what? These F1 teams are really, really emphasizing right now that a contract doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
There's always a loophole.
I think it's just because they put a lot of clauses in their tracks. Like, you have to be at this point
they shouldn't be allowed
by this time in the year to stay with us. Which,
to be safe.
Which is what, and I think we're seeing it a lot more in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Probably since 2021, I reckon. Since McLaren let go of Danny, we've been seeing it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone said, "Oh, you can do that."
Yeah. Because the thing is, Red Bull kind of started it, but they never dropped anybody.
No, they just traded
moved them.
Drivers with their Toro Rosso or AlphaTauri. So they never dropped anybody, they just downgraded them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just okay, we gave you a shot, back to the dungeon.
Fair. You're giving them a drive for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I think if they're in a contract, they should at least have to finish a year. Surely, have a clause where, hey, if you don't perform, the rest of your contract's void. But give them the full year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like it also comes down a lot to how much they've cost the team. Obviously, Logan is a great example of this. And I, as angry as everyone was, I can understand it from the Williams' perspective that they were costing him so much. However, I'm not saying that Franco
they could have found
didn't have the same results by the end of the season, because he cost them a lot by the end of the year as well. But that's what I'm saying. The lower level teams, they have a lot more to lose by having drivers that are not performing because they can't afford it. Yeah. But the higher level teams definitely should be more locked in their contracts.
Yeah. This is possibly a hot take, possibly a really hot take, but I think it is cheating if you drop your driver halfway through the season just because they're not doing good. Because, it's it's a game. You're competing for the Constructors and the Drivers' Championships, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be allowed to change your driver.
Yeah.
I do agree, yeah.
It would be like switching characters in Mario Kart halfway through to a better car or something.
Yeah.
Or hitting one of the little mushrooms,
Yeah.
It's if breaking the cost cap or changing too many power units or stuff that's cheating. Why is changing a driver because they're not working, a battery's not working?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
No, that's a good point, I think.
Hot take in the sense that, like,
should...
it's new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the teams should, like, cop something for that, whether it's like a fine or like a penalty.
Yeah.
The 2026 regs, like, definitely need to have something about driver swaps like that in them.
Yeah.
I would like to do a deep dive on the new 2026 car at some point over our summer break.
Bernie, can you explain it to us, please? We love you.
What would happen if you just called Bernie up?
Hey, you know, Bernie. Sometimes I wonder if these people would do, like, our podcast. It's, like, so low stakes. They could say whatever they wanted.
Definitely not, but, like, I'm gonna hit Bernie up.
I mean, what's the worst they say? Either nothing or no. You know, whatever. Anyways, we love you, Bernie.
Yeah. But, yeah, I feel like there's so much to say about the new 2026 regs, the new cars, everything. Because, like, yes, the cars, this is, like, sorry, like, off topic from Abu Dhabi, but the cars are a tiny bit smaller. Great.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Wrong, because now there's 22 cars on the grid.
Yeah.
So adding that extra, like, the little, like, 30 centimeters you're taking off each car is just, like, times that by 20, and that's those 2 extra cars. You've just put that space back in there. So, I don't know. It's going to be chaos.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm quite excited to see how different it gets. But back to, we'll put that one in the bank for... Put that on pause.
We know how to focus. We're adults.
Let's none of us have ADHD.
Let's
actually start talking about lap 1.
Lap one was actually insane.
I think it was the most entertaining.
Charles Leclerc girlies were loving it.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the end of it, he was sad at the end of it. He was angry.
He was, like, up 7 places by the end of lap 1 or something stupid.
Yeah. It was it was, like, max level stuff.
I messaged a friend at the start of the weekend after qualifying. She was like, I'm so sorry I jinxed Charles Leclerc. And I said, no need for sorrow. Charlie's going to pull a maxi pad and go P12 to P1. No stress. Oh, and it was after he got his penalty. It wasn't even, like, qualifying. So I was just, like, guesstimating he'd be starting P12. How wrong was I?
Oh, God.
Like,
it was gnarly.
I was like, we're doomed. Help. Wrong, because he pulled a maxi pad and he did that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know how he did do that. But also, you watch his onboard, and he just flies up the inside. Oh, bye, Sophia.
Yeah. Absolutely insane. I guess she dropped out.
Did you actually hear? I don't know if it was just on my end, but she was like, I was like, oh, is she okay?
I'm going to assume that her, like, phone data was trying to connect to her Wi-Fi and it just cut out.
Yeah.
She's back.
She's back.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go connect to my Wi-Fi. Carry on without me. I'll jump back in once I'm internet connected.
Sounds good.
But yeah, lap 1. Turn 1 even. Bloody Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri.
Yeah. Oh my God. Move of a world champion, hey? Oscar spitting bars. That Australian harshness is coming out. The directness. The sass. I love sassy Osk. Yeah. I love when all the drivers get sassy, to be honest. It just makes me laugh.
Yeah. And you know what? That, like, driving and comment of his really, like... I don't know if you saw Nicole Piastri's tweet the other day, and she was like, I can officially say I've successfully gotten all 4 of my kids to pass their driver's test. And then in brackets was like, one of them may have needed a little less instruction.
Yeah, I wonder who that is. Obviously Hattie.
Dropped like 17 positions, and he's still... I think he finished okay.
Yeah, I think I still have the leaderboard up. But he finished 10th.
Yeah. So
but
still a point.
I mean, he still made it up 7 places. I don't know actually how many people were DNF'd at that point. But he made it up 7 places, plus he had 2 pit stops and a penalty.
Oh, man. Yeah, 10-second penalty.
Yeah.
What about
so,
that?
like, another reason why I love Oscar Piastri. I was actually really happy with the final 10 of Abu Dhabi.
I don't
Like
even
the
so know the podium. That's
P10 we had Osk. P9 was Mr. Alonso.
Oh yeah.
P8 Nico, P7 Gasly, P6 Verstappen, P5 Russell, P4 Hamilton, P3 Leclerc, P2 Sainz, P1 Norris.
Not bad.
I reckon that's a satisfying finish to me.
Yeah.
I also love
Leclerc, but if you swapped like 2 and 3, like swap the Ferrari boys, I would have been like,
hey, it's literally a papaya sandwich.
oh my god. Yeah. Kick Lando out of the podium. I'm so sorry, but like I really want.
Are you back on your Lando hate train?
No, I'm just back on. I can't believe McLaren won the constructors. Like I'm actually like I was so delusional that I was like, no, we've got the constructors in the bag. Like
same.
Don't worry about it. We've got P1 in the bag.
No, but if it was not for, okay, 2 things. If it wasn't for Charles's penalty, they would have been fine. But also, if Carlos just had a little bit more pace,
I don't think he wanted Ferrari to win.
But I think he did.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think he did.
I can't remember what it was. I didn't click into it because the title of it made me angry. But he said something over his radio in the race that people were like, oh my god, he's not even at Williams yet, but he's trying to help them already.
Oh, yeah, I think he was giving Albon a tow or something.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah.
I mean,
but, like, I guess he wants more money. More money for his car next year, which makes sense. Yeah.
But, I mean, like, he's not going to get it. They've already chewed into next year's budget.
Yeah. But I guess that leads nicely into our next point well, my next point. But if you have seen the photos of post-season testing, and Carlos is, driving around the Williams, he
set the fastest lap.
Yeah, he's doing well. Him and Charles were next to each other like the whole time. Can never ever break them up. But the funny thing is when he was back in the garage and he was like actually fully in and under the car and was like, I'm fixing this myself. Like he was with the mechanics, fully involved in manhandling the car. And he's like, I'm going to make this. Yeah.
I didn't even see that. Send it to the group chat.
Yeah. Oh my god. Big fluffy dog as I open Instagram.
Win. I mean, I can't lie. His number looks like the 55 looks really good on the Williams. Like, it really suits it. I can't explain it, but like, it's kind of like a hear me out, I guess. Hear me out. 55 on Williams.
I feel like Carlos looks really good in blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what's funny now is that it's really like the Romeo and Juliet sound where it's like, he's a red, she's a blue. They can never be together. And it's Charles and Carlos. Okay, it's good. I think you'd like it, to be honest.
Maybe I'll watch it. Oh my god, yeah. And you know what? Esteban really suits the Haas fit.
He does. He does, actually. I do
come back in just to agree that Esteban looks good in the Haas. I'm going to have to slip away. I want to say I cried when Carlos cried. I cried when Lewis said goodbye. And Valtteri Bottas already got pulled over for speeding.
Yes! And what's next, Valtteri?
Yeah, what's next? A speeding ticket. Anyways, love you all. Feel free to finish the episode. Please do. My notes are there. It's what little I can do today.
Have so much fun.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Sof.
I'm doing the hands. Bye. You can't see me. Bye.
Yeah, so I guess back to the notes. I will find that picture and I will send it to the Instagram chat because it's not on William's Instagram, which is where I thought I saw it, but it must have been on TikTok somewhere. Yeah. Okay, where are we at? Okay, Checo out before lap 1.
That was Like, literally, like, a few corners in, spun, and then, like, what?
Look, I'm done with him, to be honest. Someone in my comment section on TikTok was like, give Checo a break, like, he's trying. And I'm like, nah, shut the
He's
fuck
not.
up, get out.
He's
I'm
really
sick and
not.
tired of ya.
Honestly, this is going to sound so bad, but if that is him trying, I don't want to see him not trying. Get him out of the Red Bull.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be in the Red Bull next season. Like, I do,
I'm so in two minds because, like,
the money.
I don't think he performs well enough, but it's the money.
Yeah. Well, Christian Horner came out and said, like, you know, I only gave him the, like, 2-year contract to, like, try and ease his mind in hopes that he'd be better. But now we need to have a chat after Abu Dhabi, which apparently was the other day, and apparently we're finding out his future in the next week. So,
okay.
But, yeah.
Okay, what else are we talking? Oh, yeah, this is back to why Piastri had a penalty. Contact with Colapinto, and Colapinto ended up having a puncture.
I did not even see him hit Colapinto. Oh, actually, I didn't.
No, he rear-ended him.
Yeah, I did. He pulled a Stroll and bloody Daniel.
He pulled a Danny. I literally saw that, and I went, Oscar, why? But also, I don't know, maybe Franco slammed on the brakes. They were approaching a corner.
Yeah. But also, you'd anticipate him slamming on those brakes, and you'd just not react.
Yeah, why are you right behind him? When you're going into a corner, you're both going into the corner. Why are you right behind him? I mean, so that's probably been one of the only times I've been disappointed with Oscar.
Yeah, it was one of those.
So I'm like, that was silly.
Where's your head at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was right after the Max incident.
Yeah.
But yeah, it cost him.
Yeah.
He could have been up a little bit higher without that.
And it cost poor Franco.
Yeah. I feel like that was when Franco, like, that damage caused him to retire a few laps later.
I feel like they, like, switched tyres for the puncture, but I feel like there was, like his arm damage or something, like, I don't know.
Yeah, so let me see if it's in...
Thank God for Sophia's notes.
Soph's notes. I know. Nope, it just talks about puncture, but I do think that there was some damage with the wing or something. I'm
now scrolling through the oh my god.
Okay.
Calling bloody RB AlphaTauri. And then he's on social media following that. It's okay, we'll just call him Arthur.
Just call him Arthur. So I love Visa Cash App's admin.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Did you see where it said, like, if you were in a coma for however long, what would be and you woke up from a coma after like a couple years, what would be your first question? And their, like, admin replied to it and was like, what our team name is. Like, a little bit of shade.
Honestly,
so good.
If you guys aren't on Threads, you need to get on Threads because the F1 admins let loose on Threads.
Yeah, they're menacing.
They're absolutely insane. Between Red Bull and Alpine especially.
Yeah.
Is it monitored by the team? Do they know you're doing this? It's so funny though. I absolutely love it.
It is. Yeah, no, it's hilarious. I quite enjoy the RB Threads.
Yeah.
And is it Anna that manages that?
I think she at least makes the content.
Or at least some of them. Really anyway.
Social media content. Red Bull,
but I love her. I want to meet her one day.
I know.
What else have we got? Oh, the commentators switching up on Max.
Oh my god, yeah. That's so unfair of Max. He's already
won
the championship.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Racing. It's unfair that he made a move. Riddle me that.
I think it's just so silly because they don't say something like this in any other sport. Nope. Like, you know, you watch the World Cup, for example, and imagine being like, oh, they're already into the grand final.
Yeah. How dare
why are they trying to be competitive? Like, even if they lose, you know, they've already won because they're higher than everyone else. The fuck? No.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
And we know that Max is a competitive person. Obviously, he's not just going to sit back and relax.
Yeah.
Considering he's made the championship already. Also, oh my God. The fact that Max would still be, that Red Bull would still be P3 in the championship if Perez didn't race altogether.
Yeah. Insane. That kind of leads on to like what I thought you were about to say as well. But if you ignore Red Bull and you take the other 9 teams and you take the like points gap between each of the teammates and add all 9 together, it is still less than the gap between Perez and Max. Like, that's insane.
Just another reason to say bye-bye.
Literally. Like, I understand he brings in a lot of money, but how can you look at all these stats and all these fans talking shit and justify keeping him in that seat?
Okay, but a follow-up question from that. Yes, he brings in a lot of money, but if Max had a competitive teammate, they would have probably won the constructors.
Mm-hmm.
And is the amount of money that Checo brings in more than what they would have won if they were P1 in the constructors?
Surely not.
Surely not, because you win like 25 mil or something if you win, or like 50, I don't know how much, but you win a lot. But surely Checo does not bring in over 20 mil.
Surely. And I mean, like, Max Verstappen's on 55 mil a year, so I kind of get why they need him to keep bringing in the money, because how are they going to afford to pay him without sponsorship and shit?
Yeah.
But, like, that's still insane.
I'm baffled
with Perez that I am at a loss of words. And like, to be completely honest with you, I don't know how he ever got the Red Bull drive.
No.
Not really like he's ever been a good performer. Like, do you know what I mean?
No, he was at bloody Force India.
Yeah.
Imagine going from Force India. Did he go from Force India to Red Bull? He did, didn't he?
So, and he's beef with Esteban. Like, he showed he's not a team player, and you're still like, he can support our Maxi.
Like, it should have been Valtteri.
Honestly, anybody else. They should have begged on their hands and knees for Daniel to stay or something. I don't know.
Oh my God. Yeah, literally, it should have been Daniel. I did find in Sophia's notes why Franco retired. Power unit issue on lap 28. Don't know whether that was from the knock, the little kiss from Oscar, but it could be.
Underneath though. So maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. So
it's a fun little talking point. Is first of all, both our 2025 Ferrari boys went from back of the field to front of the field.
Yeah.
Third and fourth.
I can't wait for 2025 Ferrari.
I actually think, in all seriousness, and I say this every year, I understand that, I think 2025 could be our year.
No, literally. Well, if you think about it, right, okay. Frank came in Frank?
Fred.
Who's Frank? Fred came in last year, right? But he came in under Mattea's car.
Yeah.
So, and I said this, I made a TikTok about this. I was like, I think Fred has plans. Right now, he's just sitting back. He's observing. He's seeing what's working, what isn't working with the current car that they have, with the team that they have, personnel, not just the drivers, with the personnel as well. Obviously, we had Mr. Brozzi replace Zabi. So that helped a lot. We had big development on the car. 2025 was great, you know? Like, it was a very tight fight for P2.
A competitive car this season.
And if we look at the progression of McLaren, it took them 6 years to, like, obviously it's been 20 plus years since they won the constructors, but it's been over 6 years since they've had a competitive car that's even been in the, you know, above 5th place in the constructors. So if we look at Fred taking a crappy car and from what they had in 2023 and giving it to what they have now, like, that's a huge sleigh. And to bring in Mr. Hamilton, Sir Hamilton himself, I can only imagine that 2025, if not, because obviously Lewis will need to adjust. Yeah. So I feel like constructors is definitely Ferraris. in 2025.
Yeah, 2026 is literally anyone's game again because obviously all the regs change, and it feels like, I say this every single time the regs change, but it's always the year or two before the regs change. It just, everyone gets onto an even playing field, and the racing is so fucking good. And then the next year, the new regs come in, and it's Red Bull domination again. But hot take, Aston Martin domination, because I know we keep saying this on this pod. We keep saying it can't just be one man that makes all this difference. Although I am starting to think it is a little bit of the one man that makes all the difference. But, like, at the end of the day, how many reg changes has this man gone through and had a dominating car the next year with the new regs? He's clearly somehow, like, that man is an engineering god. We're well aware. But, like, he's seeing something in these regs that we're not seeing, that the other teams aren't seeing. And he is, like, going, got it. I understand what I have to do. You know what I mean? Like,
you just know that this 9 months or so that he's had, like, off, he is just, because obviously he can't work on either car, but he is just reading and theorizing and pre-planning.
2026, I am sure.
Yeah, he is ready. He has his sights set.
Yeah. He's got upgrades for 25 because realistically it's not going to be his car in 25. He's got upgrades ready. He's reading up and has notes for the 26 car. I'm excited. Honestly, I'm really excited to see what Aston Martin could do. Because, like, controversial again, Lance Stroll isn't a bad driver. So if he theoretically can stick it out and find his love for racing again for at least 26, and they do have a, like, dominating competitive car, I think he could do really well. I don't think he's winning every race. I don't think he'll be winning championships like Max. But I think he'll be fighting for podiums regularly.
Yeah, that's what I hope for.
Regular podiums in the first few, like, half of the season. I think Lance could do that. I really do.
That's an interesting way to look at it, because I think if you take a step back and you look at Aston Martin and their DNFs and even Alonso's feedback as well. Alonso has a lot of feedback about the bumping, you know, it's uncomfortable. Not the bumping, the bouncing. He says it's uncomfortable. Obviously, he had a really bad back in, what was it, Brazil? He, like, was struggling. All of these things that could improve on the car, but I don't think that as it currently stands, they can't fix it. Yeah. So I'm wondering if maybe Newey coming in and being able to fix a lot of these issues might actually make Lance enjoy it a little bit more, because he's actually
not in pain, not struggling.
In pain, and also if he has an issue, there's a potential that it could be fixed.
Yeah,
which then
not liking this, and
which then he's like, hey, I'm being listened to and my opinions matter. Yeah. And maybe he does start to get a little bit more enthusiastic about driving again, instead of just asking to retire because it's too wet and he doesn't want to drive in the rain.
This could be another hot Lance Stroll take. But I also think that a big thing with him, like, probably not enjoying the sport and not driving up to his potential at the moment, I think he could also, everyone sees social media. Carlos was very open in saying that he sees all the memes and the things people say on social media about them. I reckon he's seen the people giving him shit and say, oh, you know, this is just nepotism, like, daddy's money, like, you're a pay driver. He probably sees all this and it probably gets in his head. So he probably goes, why the fuck do I bother? No one's listening.
Yeah, true.
So I reckon if somebody actually comes in like Adrian Newey and goes, oh, you don't like this? Let me fix it. And he actually feels valued and, like, he's here on his own accord and, like, he can actually drive well and prove that to himself, not necessarily everyone else. Maybe, you know, who knows what his potential could be.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He never really looks happy. Like,
no.
You know what I mean? He always looks, honestly, on the verge of death. Like, his face is always sunken and sad. He's like, you can tell that, like, fake half-ass laugh when that reporter, he hugged Esteban or something and he was like, what's going on there? And he was like, we're friends. Like, he's just sick of the shit. Do you know what I mean?
The way we were thinking about the exact same interview, because I was like, his face when he was like, what?
What do you want me to say to you? Like,
we're friends.
Him. Like, is that what you want to hear? You know?
Yeah.
But I think if he can prove to, like, mainly himself, not even like fans, but if he can prove to himself that he's there on merit and not just, obviously it's no secret, obviously daddy pays for his fucking seat, obviously.
Yeah.
But he can be there on his own merit. If all of a sudden Daddy dropped out of the sport and decided I'm done with this sport, if he was actually listened to and felt valued, he would perform and he'd be there on merit regardless. Ferrari doesn't want him, like frickin' Baked Bean said. That doesn't mean he's a bad driver because Ferrari doesn't want him.
Ferrari doesn't want a lot of drivers,
Ferrari
okay?
doesn't want anything. Ferrari wants there, and that's all that matters to them.
Literally, Ferrari just wants Charles.
Exactly.
They would be happy with a one-team driver. But I think that's an interesting point. And also, like, I will be the first to say, I've said it on TikTok before, Lance is not my favourite driver. To be honest, he is probably my least favourite driver. But in saying that, I do not hate any of the drivers.
No.
I really like all of them. I think they're great people. I don't hate any of them, but in performance comparison, he is at the bottom for me. I don't like him as much as I like the other drivers.
Yeah.
Again, I don't hate him. I'm not going to wish him to bloody crash and, be paralyzed or something. Nothing like that. Yeah, nothing like that. But that's not saying, like I said last time, that's not saying that he can't be in the sport, Yeah. Like, and do I think he's taking a seat from someone else? I feel like
maybe.
I don't, but like, it's the same thing that we were. Yeah, well, it's this.
Oh my god, this is a really hot take. Alonso's really not that great anymore either, but he's still sitting in that Aston Martin, isn't he?
No, like, exactly.
Like, he's always bottom of the top 10, if in the top 10.
And this is why I don't like arguing about people's performance, whether they deserve a seat, unless it's Checo.
That one is brutally clear.
I feel like when it's in these lower level teams, there's only so much performance you can see from a driver until the car caps them. And people saying, just because, well, that's like Sof saying, he's not back of the field. And in comparison to the other drivers, Haas, Sauber, Williams, he is doing better than them. And Nico and, well, not doing better than all of them, but Bottas has been in the sport for bloody how many years? Like a decade or something, Like he's been here for ages.
Yeah.
And we've seen his performance. We've seen how good he is. He's got a shitty car. He can't perform it. That doesn't mean that he didn't deserve the Sauber seat when he was there.
And at the end of
even
the day,
Alonso.
There's 20 F1 drivers in the world each year. You and I aren't in an F1 car.
No.
We're bad drivers, sure. But the people that actually are in F1 cars, you can't say they're bad drivers just because they're not performing as well as the other one.
As a driver in a team that is in, not in debt.
Yeah.
But I think
over any of the F2 and F3 drivers that are performing really well.
Yeah.
Clearly someone sees the potential.
Yeah, but the point of the feeder series is that all of the cars are the same so that they can see the performance of the driver. And that is the whole point of it. Whereas in F1, it is both combined.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is something that people need to remember when they're looking at it is like, yes, Lance isn't performing great, but neither is the Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My computer is going to die.
Oh, no. Yeah, I feel like this is just... There's something that really annoys me because also we don't see or hear... There is so much about the cars that the teams don't share because of obviously confidentiality so that other teams don't know what they're cooking up. So we don't know about the cars. We don't know what the issues are most of the time. We don't know why power unit fails. We don't know why some driver can get 30 laps out of tyres and another driver can get 15.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We literally don't know what's driver error and what's car error.
Yeah. I don't know why I had a thumbs up then. But yeah, anyway, a little bit off topic, but
it's always on topic with us, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Funny little point to bring up is the top 4 were past teammates.
Yeah.
Like current teammates.
Future teammates.
I love shit like that.
It was good. I was like, oh, I like this.
So good.
What else was there? Oh my God, we have to talk about the post-race media that came out because did you see... Okay, we'll start with Ferrari, okay? Carlos. Okay, wait. Charles at the end of the race, angry. Oh my God. Mum was with me when she came into my room when the race had finished, and camera panned to Charles, and she was like,
Next to
"Oh,
us, and he was like,
yeah." And she was like, "Oh, he's angry." And I was like, "Yeah,
"It's beautiful,
he
isn't it?
is." Yeah, I know. Bring
2025 domination."
Come on, Charles. Please enter your villain arc.
I'm so
So we had angry, angry Charles. But then we got the post-race farewell to Carlos. Our little red-eyed, sobbing Carlos.
I was a little bit sad, I have to say.
Oh my God. I hate seeing men cry. Unless it's
really
for a yeah.
They deserve it.
Yeah, unless they deserve it, then I'm like, I have no sympathy for you. But Carlos, like, that was sad.
Yeah.
That was sad. I was like, oh. Actually, so
really broke my heart. Everyone was so focused on Hamilton doing donuts that nobody noticed Joe was
yeah.
My heart.
Hang on.
Darling.
No, but on that, why the fuck were there no more donuts?
Yeah.
What happened to, I think it was 2021, where we had Seb, Danny, and Lewis all doing donuts down the straight, all in a line.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Because I think that was Danny's last race with McLaren.
Was it?
2021. He left.
No, because...
No. 2022? 2020? Hang on.
No, because...
Anyway.
21, Carlos was already in the Ferrari, and Seb did it in a Ferrari. Because Seb left in 2020.
Oh, no, it was 2019, I think.
Yeah. Because I think it was Seb's last year in the Aston. It was Fernando...
Ferrari.
I mean, the Ferrari, yeah. It was Fernando in the McLaren. It was his last season before... It was his retirement. That's when it was.
No, it was earlier than that. I mean, later than that.
Really? Let me Google it. I'm sure it was the 2018 Fernando retirement.
Here we go.
Vettel, Alonso... Yeah, 2018.
Oh, yeah, you were right. Yeah, I was... Yeah.
That was honestly a guess. I was just like, it must have been Fernando's retirement.
Yeah, no, that was a good guess.
Good guess.
Honestly. Yeah, no, I thought it was Danny's retirement, not retirement, but Danny's last season, not Fernando's. But yeah, what happened to that?
Yeah, I know. Bring back.
Why did we not see more donuts?
Literally, everyone's just too scared of blowing up their engines before testing. Get over it.
But even was it last year? I think one of the Haas boys were like, "Can we do donuts?" And they were like, "No," and then they did them anyway.
Yeah, Mick Schumacher. That was 22. That was when Denny left the sport.
Yeah, but yeah, I was really sad about that. I was really sad that there were no donuts. That's the best part, not the best part, but it was one of the best parts about Abu Dhabi is all the donuts.
Really, you know that I'm not Lando's biggest fan. We all know that, but I don't hate the bloke. I am, as much as I wanted like a Ferrari to win Abu Dhabi, it was so cute that the fireworks finally were actually for him.
Yeah.
That was
the fireworks for us.
Yeah, the fireworks are for you now, Lando.
Did you also see that, I don't know what company it was or what, but the whole city, when McLaren was flying out or flying to their celebration or something, because they got sent to like a different state to do their celebration. But yeah, but when they were flying out, the whole city was lit papaya.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
I think it was on the McLaren Instagram. I'll send it to the...
I'll have to show this video, but I'm gonna cover my friend's username because I don't want to like call her out if she doesn't want this shared. This was on her close friend's story, but we got DJ Lando. Can't see it because it's glary.
I love DJ Lando.
Back at the after party.
I love DJ Lando.
I know. He's actually like, you know what? Decent.
He's decent. I want him to release that little bit that he made a couple years ago where it's like,
Yeah.
Or he does the little, like, these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want him to
Not thing he's ever done, but like release
drop that.
music. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Charles and Lewis have released music, so
No. Imagine we actually
Lando can
album.
join that train. But I must say, also, Soph isn't here, but disappointingly enough, Pipe was not in my top 5 this year.
I know.
Which I'm sad about. But
rigged this year, but we won't get into that.
But yeah, Pipe was nowhere to be seen, even in my top 100 this year. So that was sad. But I'll have to pick it up for next year.
Do you know what was in my top 100?
Oh, don't tell me.
And I am wholeheartedly blaming this on Lucy. This is her fault.
Don't tell me.
You're going to... And you know what? It's really not far down in the... It's probably in the top 20. Are you ready? I don't even know.
That is so funny for you. I did think it was going to be do.
Yeah, no, it was Let's Go Lando, which is really ironic because I don't really love Lando all that much.
No,
but for like 2 months after Miami, Lucy would not let me play anything else when we first
right.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
Imagine my horror and my shock when I shuffle my top 100 and that shit randomly starts playing. I didn't even scroll through my top 100 before I just shuffled it.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, speaking of Lando, did you see the post-race interview? I don't know if it was post-race or if it was just an interview sometime during the weekend, but the interviewer was like, how do you feel about Lewis leaving Mercedes? You know, do you have any thoughts? Blah, blah. And he was like, you know, people are acting like he's retiring or something, like he's just switching teams, you know, it's not that big of a deal. And he was just like, he just didn't care. And he was like, I don't see why, you know, like it's this big whole thing, like he's still on the grid.
Okay, Lando, let's see what happens in 10 years' time when McLaren drop you and you have to find another team, and let's see how it is then.
But I was like, it would be the exact same if Max left Red Bull. Like, Lewis is Mercedes. Mercedes is Lewis, you know? Like, this isn't just a normal, he's switching teams. This is like a legacy that is dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is leaving the team, you know?
Has expired.
Yeah. So I just thought that was really, he's never beating the, I don't see Lewis as anything more than a, you know, successful driver sort of thing.
Not that I really think Lando is ever going to win a world championship. Oh my God, that's what we needed to speak on, which kind of ties into this. There was a girl on Instagram, I think it was on another podcast, where her hot take was that Lando just absolutely unravels the second he's competing against Max Oscar.
Yep. So,
It's not really a hot take. It's kind of just a fact. Look at the stats.
Yeah, I did see this.
Because of that, he's never going to win a championship, really.
No. Oscar is going to win before him. I've said it before, and I will die on this hill.
I think Max is retiring sooner than we think. And I not necessarily think, but really hope that seat goes to Oscar. I think Oscar in a Red Bull, I don't think we'd see anybody else win.
Well, only if it's a good car. It depends who they can get to, you know, to fill Adrian's shoes.
Lando's car is a really good car. Oscar's hasn't been all that good this season. Like, he's had more issues than Lando. Yet still, like, I think he finished 4th in the in the drivers or something.
Yeah, he did.
So, like, he's done pretty well to, like, drag the McLaren up there. I feel like, honestly, even if the Red Bull's a little bit how you doing, he could do it. I don't know.
That is a hot take.
I really think he's going to be a world champion before Lando.
Interesting. I think that because it's obvious that Zach loves Lando. That's obvious. But it's really obvious that Stella loves Oscar so much more. I don't know if you saw the video, if I sent it to the group, but Stella was like super, super happy winning the constructors. And he was like, hugging, would not let Oscar go. He would not let Oscar go. When in reality, Lando did score more points for them the whole year. So it's like, but I think that Stella is preferencing Oscar. And I think that Lando will get pissed at that because he's been there longer. And he's like, well, we saw it in Hungary.
Yeah.
We saw it. And so I think that Lando will get sick of not being prioritized, and then he'll take the boot and he might go to Red Bull after
that could be good.
Max retires.
Imagine if because there's all that talk about before the season even starts that Andrea, because Kimmy's not even his name. So I'm starting a trend of calling him by his name, which is Andrea.
Okay, well, that's actually good, because every time someone says Kimmy, I automatically think Raikkonen. So
yeah, me too. Okay, well, we're going to be calling Andrea Kimi Antonelli by his
or just Antonelli
podcast. It'll be Andrea or Antonelli.
Yeah, no Kimmy's here.
Yeah, but apparently Antonelli and Carlos are looking at being swapped already.
Yeah.
And Williams. So what if Carlos either retires because he realizes he's never going to be a champion or something, or he ends up getting booted or something? What if McLaren, what's his fucking name? What if Norris Mercedes? And then we have a Bro-Sadies part 2.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd want to be George's teammate.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't.
Well, George, I'll see you later. George is like the Charles Leclerc of Mercedes, like golden boy.
Yeah, he is. He is. But that's what I think they're trying to. Please make that a reel. Whoa. It's nice and cool on my legs.
I had something to say, and that's like my brain's gone now. Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, well, I don't know. But
Oscar, McLaren. I think that Oscar has proven that he should be McLaren's priority, though, which sounds wild. Yeah. Obviously, he didn't score as many points as later this season, but like I said, it may not be true, but at the end of the day, I really think that every single team, they have 2 cars, but I don't think they're the same. One is always more prioritized and is a better car. And I think Oscar got the worst car this season. Yes, he performed. And even his rookie season, he got a sprint win in his rookie season. Like, he did so good as a rookie. Lando could never. Lando's starting to perform in his 6th year.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, whereas Oscar's up to 3 wins and 2 sprint wins in his 2nd season.
Yeah. And I know that people are going to say, oh, but the car and things like that. And yes, I get it. We already spoke about this, it's the car and the driver together. But Danny got a win with that car.
Point proven.
I don't know.
Is that maybe if they chucked this is so unserious. I can't. Maybe if they chucked Daniel in the McLaren this year, he would have won the championship.
It's a hot take. Even Carlos.
McLaren.
Literally. Send Carlos back to McLaren.
If they put anybody else in that McLaren this year, if they put Oscar in that better McLaren this year, I think anybody else could have won that championship. That was they were so
if there were no team orders this year,
Lando could have won. I hate to say that.
Yeah. But if there were no team orders and Oscar had Lando's car, Oscar would have won.
100%.
Actually, I don't know how I'm trying to say this. I feel Oscar would win without there needing to be team orders.
Yeah.
Lando would have probably won if they had put forward more team orders.
Yeah. If they had fucked off papaya rules, Lando could have won it. But Max went on a 10-race winless streak. You know what I mean? So it wasn't even he was dominating.
No.
Just Lando kept fumbling.
Yes.
Which sounds so
exactly.
bad.
But I feel like Oscar just
when Max was ahead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oscar just keeps his cool.
Yeah. Even though he was angry at Max, that move of a world champion comment was still just so cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah.
He still just kept driving.
Yeah. And then they were like, oh yeah, Max got a penalty. And he just said, good. That was it.
Yeah. If that was
Whereas we look at Lando in, I think it was Austria, when they had that like big tiff where they almost took each other out.
Bro, they were trying to get him back on track and he got out of the car. Like,
yeah. Man was bloody...
That could have cost him the championship in all seriousness.
Mm.
Max ended up finishing, what, 5th or 4th still?
Yeah, I think so.
After pitting. You know what I mean? And he had a penalty, like 10-second penalty. If
Lando.
I'm getting tongue-tied. If Lando had actually just listened to his team, sat still for 2 seconds, calmed the fuck down until he was back on the track, unleash your anger on the track.
Yeah.
Because, sure, you would have gotten up positions, and you may have beaten Max then, and you may have taken out the championship this year.
Yeah.
With extra points. Because it was really close.
Yeah. I really hope that Lando does a little bit of reflecting on this season and looks at, you know, how he could have improved or how he could have driven better. And he has said that he has done that in the past. So I really hope that he does that this year and he just comes in next year stronger, because I would like to see a McLaren, you know, World Drivers' Champion. And I do love Lando normally when his head isn't the size of a house.
Yeah.
So obviously I'll be happy if he wins the World DC, but I do prefer Oscar. Yeah. Oscar is my pick.
It's like we keep saying this on this podcast, but it's Lando's attitude and ego.
Yeah.
Ruined it for all of us, because honestly, not that Lando's ever been my favorite driver, but I had a lot more like respect and tolerance for him, and I was crying for him when he won in Miami. The last time I cried for a driver's first win was when Pierre won in Monza. I didn't even cry for like Daniel's wins. I didn't even cry for Leclerc's wins. Like, do you know what I mean? And I actually cried.
Oh, I cried when Charles won in Monaco, but I actually
I did then too. Good point.
I cried for when Lando won in Miami, and do you know what I did? I made this when Lando won in Miami. No more Lando no wins. And I made a playlist. Do you know how many times I've listened to this playlist? Because he pissed me the fuck off. Once.
Yeah. But see, this is why Let's Go Lando was in my top 100 on Spotify.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just
exactly
attitude. And everyone keeps like that defensive, yeah, but Max has the same ego and attitude. Okay, but Max...
Yeah, but he can back it up.
To have that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, he's broken so many records. He's honestly... And you know what? Somebody got so mad on the comment section of one of our reels the other day for saying this, but Max is the best driver of, like, his generation. And everyone gets angry because they're like, but what about Lewis? Different generation. They're literally, like, 20 years apart.
Yeah, we said this in that episode, but we are comparing the current capability during Max's prime. Because you could say that about Lewis. You could say, yeah, Lewis is a great driver. He won 7 world champions. Obviously, he deserved it. However, if you compared his prime with Schumacher's prime, you know,
now
it would be another. But then people are like, oh, but the cars were different. Oh, but the regulations were different. Oh, but the rules were different. Yeah, okay, the exact same thing with Max.
Yeah.
You can't, this is similar to the British bias. You can't have one opinion with one set of drivers and then have it with another one just because you don't like them. Like, you got to look at everything. And Max, in the current state of F1, is the best driver on the grid.
Yeah, 100%. And honestly, I don't know how people are arguing with that.
Yeah. I don't think that he is going to, the only record that I don't think he's going to smash is Lewis and Schumacher's world record, because he's going to retire before he can hit 7.
Yeah,
yes.
He can't, because he will stop.
He's getting a little tiny baby.
I am so cute. I'm
so excited. I love watching him with little P. He's so cute. Did you see that video where she was in the garage and he had to go, and she like ran over to him and was like hugging his waist, and he like bent down and was like, I have to go, and then he like started to walk away, and she like reached her arm out and she was like,
literally,
and Kelly had to go over, and I was like, oh, like she loves him so much.
But it's not even biologically his. Imagine him with a kid like that's
bonus dad, like he liked to tell us.
Yeah,
a bonus dad.
And you know what? This annoys me so much. I know so many people don't like Kelly, and like kind of understandably, because like there's that whole debate on whether she like groomed Max.
Yeah.
Like, not quite 18 to like freshly 18. Like, yeah, probably wasn't her best like moment. But at the end of the day, clearly they're in a real, like, authentic, loving relationship. They've been together for so long. He's literally treating her child as if it's his own, and they're having a baby together. Like, it's clearly real, it's clearly serious. And there's still those TikTok accounts that are like, that's not Max's baby. And they're like posting the announcement photo and they're like, look, that's not Max. Like, I actually think it's this guy. And I'm like, look at the freckles on that arm and look at Max's arm. That's Max.
Yeah.
Body. That's Moto. Like, are you kidding me? Just open your eyes. Stop.
That's our maxi pad, baby.
Kelly bias and realize that that's Max and they're happy.
Yeah.
And leave it alone.
Literally just be happy. It does not affect you in any way. Literally. Although I must say, the memes being like, imagine you rock up to the karting track at 8 years old and you see Verstappen PK as your, you know, your, what's it called? What's it called? Your battler? What are they called? Component. I was like, colleague? That's not right. Your component. Imagine seeing that as your component. I would leave.
I'd leave, yeah.
I'd say, no, bye.
I really love the memes of, you know, that Sidemen video where they're like caring for like the baby dolls for the day.
Yeah.
And there's like, everyone keeps like compiling like the worst moments of that on TikTok, like when it falls off the swing or down the stairs and then like Verstappen and PK trying to look after their grandbaby.
Yes. So funny.
And, like,
but I love that.
Not true, but like it's funny.
It is funny. But I love that Max as well is like, when they asked if, when he was asked if they would, you know, be karting and drive and blah, blah, blah. I loved his response.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
And you know, it's so funny because it's very similar to his dad's response back in the day. I don't know if you've seen that interview of Michael Schumacher.
No, I haven't.
And the interviewer was talking about how like Mick and Max are like the same age. Like these guys could be competing in like karting and like driving when they're older. And they're like, would prefer not. Like,
interesting.
Yes, maybe Michael was like, actually, I'd rather they didn't drive, but like if he really wants to, like, I'll support him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was Yas.
No.
Like, yeah, they're gonna compete.
Yeah, I feel like that sounds more Michael than Joss.
I'm backtracking now because I realised that
We'll fact check that after the episode.
Yeah, but I mean, it was still a cute moment regardless.
Yeah, it was cute. And I also love that he said, if either he or she wants to race, then they can. And I was like,
do you reckon they know the gender? Or like,
I don't know.
Is he really good at hiding it? Or is he just like...
I don't think he is good at keeping secrets.
Yeah.
Because he always, like, when you look at him in press conference and stuff, he always, like, makes snide comments about something without addressing it directly, but you know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Kind of like Charles when he was like, hello, Lewis.
Hello, Lewis. Do you reckon he actually knew then?
Yeah, I reckon he did. Yeah.
Because apparently all of, like, the Mercedes workers at the factory only found out, like, the morning or, like, the afternoon that the announcement was made. That he was
Ferrari and Fred, you know, Charles is Ferrari and Fred's golden boy. I absolutely think that they would have spoken to Charles beforehand.
Because the only thing that makes me think that he couldn't have known is that "Hello Lewis" comment was in like Austin or something. So
I think it was in Monaco.
Was it? Either way, it was like middle of the year.
But yeah, it was middle of last year, and then it got announced in February this year.
2nd of February. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a long time for like Ferrari to have known, but Mercedes not. Do you know?
Yeah. What I mean? Well, Toto only found out at the end of last year. Yeah. But it obviously, for it to be locked in, because it has to be locked in before it gets announced, obviously. Yeah. But you just know that if Lewis was to tell Mercedes that he wanted to leave, they would have tried everything to get him to stay. But it would have been too late, you know, you're doing too much too late. Yeah. So I think he just avoided that altogether and just went directly to Ferrari. Yeah. Was like, hey. But
that Ferrari scoped him out, or do you reckon he scoped Ferrari out?
I reckon. I feel like maybe it could have been like a mutual thing.
They just like met in the middle. They were both like, they locked eyes and they knew what the other one.
Well, because we know that Lewis has said multiple times that he'd love to drive for Ferrari.
Yeah, maybe Lewis started it and Fred was like, no, really.
Yeah, I think maybe. I reckon, I wonder if Lewis maybe wanted to retire and then he was like, let me see what can happen.
Yeah.
And then he asked Ferrari and Fred was like, wow, I'm so glad you asked. Here is my master plan.
Yeah. Because I don't think Lewis will be at Ferrari long.
No.
Like, solely because I think he really is ready to retire.
I reckon he will be out before the 2026 regulations.
Yeah, either that or I think 26 will be his last year. Like maybe they'll use him, knowing that he's a really strong driver. Maybe they'll use him in 2026 to work out whether the car is strong to work with a strong driver, or whether like the car's just shit and it doesn't matter how good of a driver you put in. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I get you.
I don't know. There's so much possibilities and like theories, and I don't know. So much to think about.
I would love to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, literally. That would have been like... And like fly on the wall when Ferrari told Carlos they weren't renewing his contract.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I really reckon that Lewis is just holding place for like, I don't know, like Dino Beganovic or someone to come up from F2.
Yeah, maybe.
Because, I don't know. Or actually, I lied. He's holding place for Ollie. I forgot about Ollie Behrman.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I think Fred, well, I've said it before, I think, but I think Ollie is Charles 2.0.
Oh, yeah.
Ollie is definitely Charles 2.0. And I really like Ollie. My sister is major crushes on him.
It makes me like really sad though that like he is so openly compared to Charles, because poor that can't feel nice seeing like somebody who's literally younger than you and you've competed against for years being compared to your literal brother.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? And being told like,
yeah,
like the second Charles.
Yeah. No, that's really true.
Yeah.
To be
but
honest.
like I 100% agree.
Yeah.
100%. And I think he'll be in that Ferrari, and I think he'll be number 2 driver, like being supported and built up by Charles until he's in a position where he's either won enough championships or a championship and retires, or he gets a spot at a team that's actually performing really well. I don't see Charles ever leaving Ferrari, unfortunately.
I don't think, I will die on this hill, Charles will not leave Ferrari until he can win a drivers and a constructors championship for Jules.
After that, I just don't think he'll leave. Because
no, but I think minimum...
Team One Dream, like, he doesn't want
to
leave Ferrari, you know what I mean?
No, but I think minimum he will stay at Ferrari. Like, he won't retire until he has hit those goals.
Out first.
And he's come so close twice.
Mm-hmm.
So close.
I actually had hopes.
Yeah.
I had hopes and they were all crushed really quickly by Zuka. Very quickly. Oh, that's what I wanted to say while we're talking about Lando. That whole, like, is there a new Max Verstappen curse? Because the last 3 years, every time he's won a championship, the driver he lost to has won 0 races the next year. So, like, in 2021, obviously, Lewis lost to Max, and then 2022, he didn't win a single race. 2022, Claire lost to Max, and 2022,
you're so right.
2023, Checo lost to Max and didn't win a single race this year.
Oh, you're so right.
Oh
my God, that's going to have to be something that we monitor next year. Yeah.
Also, I think that over the winter, summer break, whatever you want to call this shocking 90 days, I think we need to create, first and foremost, an F1 fantasy league and, like, put our team.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we also need to create a 2025 F1 bingo card. And I think we should do an episode presenting our teams and bingo cards.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think that could be really good.
I did make a bingo at the start of this year, but I let it die.
I
would look at it, but it's on my iPad.
Everything is just going to have to be like Max Verstappen wins. Like, I was so, like, coming into this season, I was convinced we were having another, like, Max Verstappen domination. My God, it was...
I wasn't.
Verstappen. I love Max. Like, do you know what I mean? That's very brutally obvious. But
hang on, let me show...
Melbourne, when he goes past my corner with his brakes blowing up, the scream, somehow in, like, turn 6, turn 7, every single one of us was in a Ferrari shirt. Like, we were all Ferrari fans there. The one Dutch guy next to me felt really bad when I was, like, cheering for Max's DNF. My bad.
Yeah, but, I mean, that was, like, his 9th race in a row. So.
Like, that shit never happens. Anyway, I love Max, but I also really loved him DNFing in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Really good.
I love Max, but I do love competitive battle Max more than flying around the track Max.
Yeah. This year was really, really good.
Yeah, it was.
I really feel so bad for fans that are getting into F1 this season because they've seen
everything.
Peak F1, but this isn't F1 anymore, unfortunately.
No.
Like, it's never this great. So, like,
be prepared for disappointment.
Yeah, literally.
So
sad.
Yeah. Well,
show us your bingo card. Did you find it?
I did actually. Yes. I stopped ticking things off, I think, like maybe after Daniel left. But I actually ticked off a lot. I don't think I'll be able to share, but I had Charles and Carlos 1 and 2. Okay. Driver moves in the top 4 teams. So Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull. Yep. Reserve driver races. We had Ollie. Will Buxton says something blatantly obvious. I actually didn't watch any of his interviews, so I don't know if that happened.
I think he was good this year, honestly. He was really... I actually love Will this year.
5 track limit warnings in a race. Has to retire by the end of the season. Ferrari win the Italian Grand Prix. New record broken. George becomes a meme. Yep, we had that a few times. Max DNF. Teammates collide. Both Williams into Q3. Midfielder on the podium. Ricardo to Red Bull. That didn't happen, sadly.
We've got time.
Yeah, we do.
A month left.
We do. Influencer drama in Miami. We didn't have it in Miami, but we did have influencer drama this year. A podium with no RB driver, which we got a few times. Charles breaks the Monaco curse. 2 safety cars in 1 race. Bad strategy from Ferrari. Lawrence Stroll moves teams, which was a bit of a hot take. Driver announces retirement. We didn't really get a retirement announcement rather than just they didn't get renewed. Mr. Valtteri, Joe, Hulk, Magnussen, see you later. 5 red flags in 1 race. 30-second pit stop. We had quite a few times thanks to penalties. And then I had both McLaren win. Like both Lando and Oscar first win.
There you go. That was pretty big.
A lot of them were pretty good.
Yeah.
I ticked off a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, not bad at all, honestly.
Yeah.
Something. Oh my god, yeah. While you're talking about Will Buxton, I have not seen every episode of Drive to Survive, which I really should do. But the new season comes out on March 7th, and I'm pretty sure that's the day I'm at Rock, so I'm not even going to be able to watch it.
Oh, that's okay, though.
I'm seeing F1 drivers in the flesh.
Exactly. You'll be seeing Mr. Vettel drive around.
I know. Vettel, Schumacher, and Bottas.
So good.
And a heap of supercars legends. And I don't know if you've seen, I can't think of her last name, but her name's Molly. She's a rally driver for Australia.
No.
Oh my god. She's amazing. And she's just been announced for Rock as well.
Love that.
It's going to be fantastic. We've got 2 supercars drivers, a rally driver. Yeah. It's going to be interesting, I think.
Definitely.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll like a Rock vlog and post it
should.
on the Glory YouTube channel.
You should.
Maybe I will, actually. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, I support that.
I'll do that. So
you do that. Stay tuned next year for a Rock vlog.
Yeah. Honestly, this Abu Dhabi recap was beautiful, and then honestly it went so off course, but like...
It did. We covered a lot of stuff. It's good. It's good.
This is going to be like an hour 15, but...
Yeah, I love that. Please...
If you were listening or watching this and you've made it to this point right now...
we adore you. Thank you so much.
Listen to us yap for this long.
Thank you for listening to us go off on tangents and ramble for not only the Abu Dhabi race, but also pretty much the entire season.
Literally. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Hold on. This is the second last episode of this year.
Oh.
This, as we're filming this, it's Friday, but this will be going up next Friday, and then the Friday after is the 27th. So it will literally be This is the second
Look at that.
year.
Oh my God. First year of Gears and Glory.
Yeah.
Tick, tick.
Maybe we'll put like a little question box on our story on Instagram or something and see if there's anything people want in the last episode.
Yeah, let's do that.
Otherwise, I think if nobody has anything specific they want, I dare say we'll end up doing like an entire season recap, which I think to wrap up the season.
Yeah.
But if not, we can do that like first week of January. People have something else they'd rather see, because at the end of the day, we're doing this for everybody. For us.
We're doing this for you guys, babe.
For enjoyment.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Huge slay.
Crazy season. It really has.
It really has. I'm kind of glad it's over.
Yeah, I think I need, as sad as I am, oh my God, don't forget to cancel your KO until February.
Yep.
Actually, you don't need to bring it back at all, because this is so niche for the Australian fans, but Channel 10 is got F1 and MotoGP from next year.
But is it going to be replay, or is it just going to be live?
Ooh, I don't know. Good point.
Because did you know that you can actually watch F1 live on KO for free?
What do you mean? I watch F1 KO live.
Yeah, but you don't need a membership to watch it live. You need a membership to watch replay.
What?
I worked that out when I cancelled my membership, and then once it finished, I could still watch them live. But when I went to go back to watch a catch up of one that I slept through, because it was like 2 a.m, I couldn't watch it. And I was like,
okay, well, guess who's not renewing her membership until like the end of March, because I'm going to the first Grand Prix next year.
Yeah, slay.
God, I'll also do a Melbourne vlog then.
Do it.
I might as well. Maybe. Do it. Honestly, we caught George Russell's crash in Melbourne on camera this year. So maybe I'll catch some other wild crash on camera this year.
I reckon you will.
It's just our luck. It's just our luck. I still think I have fiberglass in my eyes from Melbourne, and that's why I can't see, but like, so worth it.
So worth it. So worth it.
It's George Russell's fiberglass, so.
It is. It's fine. It's fine.
Carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber. All right.
Well.
Slay, everyone. Goodbye. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah.
Story.
Thank you so much.
Crazy. Almost a whole season got through. I think like between like when I just was doing this podcast myself and between when the girls have jumped on board with me, we've covered almost every single Grand Prix. I think we've missed like maybe 4. So
yeah, I think so.
Honestly. Yeah. So major love to the girls, to the fans, to everyone watching. I say fans.
Love you all.
Fan of us. Let's be so fucking for real. You just listen to us yap. But
literally.
Regardless, love you all. Our next episode will be after Christmas. So everybody have a great Christmas, or is it Hanukkah or is that Halloween? I don't know. I'm so bad.
Don't know, girl.
With celebrations, but whatever you celebrate around like Christmas time, enjoy, have a great time, and
slay.
See you for the next episode of Gears and Glory, which is yet to be decided.
Yes. Let us know what you want.
Yeah. Tell us.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.